Have you ever wondered why some men never have to chase? Why women naturally choose them? Why they seem to attract attention without constantly texting, proving themselves, or trying to impress anyone? Meanwhile, other men do everything they can. They send long messages. They are always available. They constantly seek attention. They put women at the center of their lives. Yet somehow, they keep getting ignored, rejected, or placed in the friend zone. Today, we're going to uncover how to make a woman choose you over others. Comment, I reclaim my power. Number 1. Value your own time. Let me tell you the uncomfortable truth that changes everything once you truly understand it. The reason many men struggle to become a priority in her life is because they have stopped treating their own time as valuable. Think about your own situation for a moment. How many times do you instantly stop what you are doing the second she sends a message? How many times do you rearrange your plans, delay your goals, postpone your responsibilities, and abandon your own priorities simply because she suddenly wants attention? At first, it seems harmless. It feels caring. It feels like commitment. But what is really happening beneath the surface is something far more damaging. Every time you communicate that your entire schedule revolves around her availability, you slowly teach her that your life is not important. This is one of the hardest truths for many men to accept, because they genuinely believe that giving more will produce greater attraction. Yet in reality, the opposite often happens. The more you make her the center of your world, the less interesting your world becomes. Stoic principles teach that your attention is one of your most precious resources. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is trapped in waiting for texts, analyzing her behavior, wondering what she thinks, and hoping she chooses you, then your life is no longer your own. Ask yourself this question. If someone secretly watched your daily routine for 30 days, would they conclude that you are building a meaningful life or chasing validation from one person? That question alone forces many men into deep reflection. A man whose life is full of purpose naturally becomes more attractive because he is focused on creating something bigger than temporary approval. Imagine two different situations. The first man wakes up every day checking his phone, hoping she reaches out. His mood depends on her responses. His productivity depends on her attention. His confidence depends on her interest. The second man wakes up with a plan. He exercises, he develops skills, he works toward goals, he builds friendships, he creates opportunities, he enjoys his life whether she texts him or not. Which man do you think naturally commands more respect? Which man seems more valuable? Which man appears more capable of leading himself through life? The answer is obvious. This is why valuing your time is not about pretending to be busy. It is about genuinely becoming busy building a life worth living. Write down your goals, break them into small steps, create a schedule that serves your future. Learn something useful every day. Spend less time wondering whether she is interested and more time becoming the kind of man who interests everyone around him. Once you start doing this, something surprising happens. You stop obsessing over being chosen because your life becomes too important to place on hold for anyone. And there is something else that happens which many men never expect. The less your world revolves around her, the more curious she becomes about the world you are creating. Keep that thought in your mind because it connects directly to the next mistake that quietly destroys attraction. Number 2, stop seeking her approval. Here is a painful reality that many men never recognize until years have passed. The moment you start seeking her approval, you stop being yourself. You begin editing your personality. You start filtering your opinions. You become afraid to disagree. You carefully calculate every word. You constantly wonder whether she likes you. What started as attraction slowly turns into performance, and performance is exhausting because no one can maintain it forever. Think about how many men spend hours analyzing messages before sending them. Think about how many men avoid saying what they truly think because they fear losing her interest. Think about how many men agree with things they do not believe simply to avoid conflict. They think they are increasing attraction when they are actually communicating insecurity. The deeper problem is that approval-seeking places her above you in your own mind. Her opinion becomes the judge. Her validation becomes the reward. Her attention becomes the goal. Without realizing it, you hand over control of your emotional state. One good interaction lifts you up. One cold response brings you down. One delayed text ruins your entire day. This is exactly why Stoic philosophy places such importance on inner stability. Your confidence cannot depend on circumstances that you do not control. It cannot depend on whether she likes you today, tomorrow, or next month. Real confidence is built when you approve of yourself. That is where freedom begins. Consider this scenario. She disagrees with something you say. One man immediately changes his position because he wants to avoid tension. Another calmly stands by what he believes while remaining respectful. Which one appears stronger? Which one appears more secure? Which one seems more trustworthy? People often assume attraction comes from saying the right things. In reality, attraction frequently comes from not being afraid to stand by who you are. This does not mean becoming stubborn or argumentative. It means developing the courage to be authentic. Stop asking whether she approves of your goals. Pursue them anyway. Stop asking whether she likes every aspect of your personality. Be genuine anyway. Stop asking whether she validates your worth. Create your own worth through your actions. One practical exercise is simple. Every time you catch yourself wondering what she thinks of you, redirect that question. Ask yourself instead, what do I think of how I handled today? Did you keep your word? Did you make progress? Did you show discipline? Did you respect yourself? These questions build a foundation that cannot be shaken by outside opinions. The truth is that many men spend years trying to earn approval from people who have not even earned a place in their lives. Imagine how much stronger you become when you stop chasing validation and start building self-respect. Imagine how different your life becomes when your decisions are guided by principles rather than fear. Most men never reach that point. But the ones who do experience a transformation that changes every area of life. And once that transformation begins, something even more powerful starts to emerge. Number 3, build a purposeful life. Nothing changes a man's presence more than having a purpose that is bigger than his desires. This is where many men lose themselves without realizing it. They become so focused on relationships that they forget to build a life worth sharing. They spend years searching for someone to complete them when they should be focused on completing the work they were meant to do. Purpose is attractive because purpose creates direction. Direction creates confidence. Confidence creates stability, and stability creates trust. Ask yourself a difficult question. If she disappeared from your life tomorrow, what would remain? Would you still have goals? Would you still have a vision? Would you still wake up excited about something? Or would your entire world collapse because it was built around one person? That question reveals whether you are building a life or merely chasing an outcome. A purposeful life does not mean becoming wealthy. It does not mean becoming famous. It means knowing what matters to you and moving toward it every day. Maybe it is building a business. Maybe it is mastering a skill. Maybe it is improving your health. Maybe it is becoming a stronger leader for your family. Whatever it is, it must matter enough that you continue pursuing it regardless of who enters or leaves your life. Think about the people you admire most. What makes them memorable? Usually, it is not their relationships. It is their dedication, their mission, their commitment to growth. People naturally respect individuals who stand for something. The challenge is that purpose requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires delayed gratification. While others spend hours scrolling through social media, you are studying. While others complain, you are improving. While others seek entertainment, you are building. This is why purpose transforms a man. It forces him to become stronger than his excuses. Start small. Write down where you want your life to be in 5 years. Then work backward. Identify the skills you need. Identify the habits you need. Identify the weaknesses holding you back. Then begin. Not next month, not next year. Today, one step at a time, one improvement at a time, one disciplined action at a time. Because every meaningful life is built the same way. And as you continue building that life, another challenge emerges. A challenge that determines whether you remain in control when circumstances become difficult. Number 4. Control your emotions. The strongest person in the room is often not the loudest, the richest, or the most admired. The strongest person is usually the one who remains composed when everyone else loses control. Emotional discipline is one of the rarest qualities in today's world because most people react automatically. They react to messages, they react to opinions, they react to disappointments, they react to circumstances they cannot control. Yet the quality of your life is often determined by how well you manage your reactions. Consider a situation many men know well. She suddenly becomes distant. She replies less. Her energy changes. Instantly your mind begins creating stories. You assume the worst. You overanalyze everything. Anxiety takes over. Your focus disappears. Your peace disappears. Your confidence disappears. Now compare that to a man who remains centered. He notices the change but does not panic. He stays focused on his responsibilities. He continues improving himself. He refuses to let uncertainty control his emotions. Which man is operating from strength? Which man is more likely to make wise decisions? Emotional discipline is not about becoming cold. It is about refusing to become controlled by temporary feelings. Every emotion carries information, but not every emotion deserves obedience. When anger appears, pause before acting. When disappointment appears, pause before reacting. When fear appears, pause before assuming the worst. Create space between the feeling and the action. That space changes everything. One practical method is simple. When something upsets you, do not immediately respond. Go for a walk. Write your thoughts down. Focus on facts instead of assumptions. Ask yourself what is actually happening instead of what you fear might be happening. This habit alone prevents countless mistakes. The truth is that many lives are damaged not by circumstances, but by emotional reactions to circumstances. The man who learns to govern himself gains an advantage that extends far beyond relationships. He becomes harder to manipulate, harder to distract, harder to defeat. He develops a calm presence that people naturally respect. And perhaps most importantly, he finally stops living as a prisoner of every emotional impulse that passes through his mind. That is where real freedom begins, and what comes next may be the most important principle of all. And if mastering your emotions is something you know you need to develop, I highly recommend the Stoic Relationship Blueprint for Men linked in the comments, a powerful guide filled with timeless Stoic principles that can completely transform the way you think, act, and navigate relationships. And it's now available in audiobook format so you can absorb this life-changing knowledge while taking a walk, jogging, driving, exercising, or going about your day. And the best part is that once you own it, it is yours forever, giving you lifetime access to lessons you can return to whenever life tests you again. If you're serious about taking your growth even further, The Stoic Relationship Blueprint course for men is launching in the coming weeks. And if you want early access before everyone else, comment Blueprint below, because what you're about to learn could save you years of confusion, help you build unshakable self-respect, and give you a framework you'll carry with you for the rest of your life. Number 5. Respect yourself first. The fastest way to lose value in her eyes is to lose value in your own eyes first. And this happens far more often than people realize, because it rarely begins with something dramatic. It begins with small compromises that seem harmless in the beginning. You ignore behavior that bothers you because you do not want to upset her. You stay quiet when something crosses a line because you are afraid of creating distance. You accept treatment that you know is beneath your standards because you convince yourself that keeping her is more important than respecting yourself. And little by little, you start abandoning your principles in exchange for temporary comfort. But every compromise comes with a price, because every time you tolerate what you know you should not tolerate, a part of your self-respect gets traded away. And what makes this dangerous is that she notices it even when she never says a word about it, because people naturally pay attention to how much respect you have for yourself. They observe what you allow, what you excuse, what you tolerate, and what you walk away from, and those observations shape how they treat you. Think about a man who constantly allows his boundaries to be ignored. He says yes when he wants to say no. He apologizes for things that are not his fault. He keeps giving chances to people who repeatedly disrespect him, and eventually he becomes exhausted because deep down he knows he is betraying himself. Now compare him to a man who calmly stands by his principles, who does not become angry or bitter, who does not create unnecessary conflict, but who knows exactly what he will and will not accept in his life. Which one commands more respect? Which one appears stronger? Which one seems more trustworthy? The answer is obvious. Respect starts from within long before it comes from outside. This is why your standards matter so much. Not because standards make you superior to anyone else, but because standards protect your future. They prevent you from becoming someone who accepts less than what he deserves. Consider this scenario. She repeatedly cancels plans at the last minute. One man immediately rearranges everything to accommodate her every time. Another man politely communicates that his time matters and refuses to continue accepting the pattern. Which man values himself more? Which man is teaching others how to treat him? This is not about controlling her behavior. It is about controlling your response. You cannot force people to respect you, but you can remove access to your time, energy, and attention when respect is absent. That is where your power exists. Start applying this today. Write down the standards you want to live by. Not the standards you wish other people followed, your own standards. How will you handle disrespect? How will you handle dishonesty? How will you handle inconsistency? Decide now instead of waiting until emotions cloud your judgment. Then commit to those standards even when it feels uncomfortable. Especially when it feels uncomfortable. Because self-respect is built through action, not intention. Every time you honor your principles, you strengthen your character. Every time you choose dignity over desperation, you become stronger. Every time you stop tolerating what drains your peace, you create space for something better. And there is a fascinating consequence that appears once you reach this stage. You stop worrying about whether she chooses you because you become focused on whether she deserves a place in your life. That shift changes everything, and it naturally leads into the next principle, one that separates ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. Number 6. Become hard to replace. The people who leave the deepest impression on others are rarely the ones who spend all their energy trying to stand out. They are the ones who spend their energy becoming exceptional through daily discipline And this is where your attention needs to go if you want to transform your life. Stop asking how to become more attractive and start asking how to become more valuable. There is a huge difference. Attraction can be temporary. Value endures. Value follows you into every room, every opportunity, every relationship, and every challenge life places in front of you. Think about why certain individuals seem impossible to ignore. It is not because they are perfect. It is because they are constantly growing. They develop skills. They expand their knowledge. They improve their health. They strengthen their mindset. They challenge themselves while everyone else remains comfortable. Now imagine two different paths. One man spends the next 5 years consuming endless entertainment, repeating the same routines, making the same excuses, and avoiding discomfort whenever possible. Another man spends the next 5 years reading, learning, training, building, saving, creating, and improving 1% every day. Which life looks different after 5 years? Which man becomes harder to replace? Which man walks into opportunities with confidence because he has earned it? The gap becomes enormous. This is why growth is not optional. Growth is your responsibility. If you want different results, you must become a different person. Start with your health. Build strength. Improve your energy. Take care of your body because it carries you through every part of life. Then focus on your knowledge. Read books. Learn useful skills. Study communication. Study leadership. Study discipline. Learn things that make you more capable. Then focus on your finances. Stop spending everything you earn. Learn how money works. Build stability. Create options for yourself. Freedom becomes much easier when you are not constantly worried about survival. Then focus on your character. Become dependable. Become honest. Become disciplined. Become the kind of person whose word actually means something. Every area you improve increases your value. Every skill you develop expands your opportunities. Every challenge you overcome strengthens your confidence. And something remarkable begins to happen. You stop chasing opportunities because opportunities begin finding you. You stop chasing approval because your results speak louder than your words. You stop obsessing over whether she notices you because your attention shifts toward building a future worth living. This is where many people misunderstand attraction. They think attraction comes from trying to impress others. Real attraction often comes from being deeply committed to your own growth. Imagine meeting yourself 5 years from now. What would that version of you thank you for starting today? What habits would he beg you to develop? What excuses would he tell you to abandon immediately? Those questions matter because your future is being created right now through the choices you make every single day. And the final principle brings all of this together because growth is not a destination, it is a lifelong process. Number 7, keep improving yourself. The greatest mistake you can make after achieving progress is believing that you have finally arrived, because the truth about life is that growth never ends, and the moment you stop improving, you begin moving backward without realizing it. The strongest mindset you can develop is the mindset of continuous improvement, the understanding that there is always another level of discipline, another level of wisdom, another level of patience, another level of capability waiting to be developed. This idea changes everything because it shifts your focus away from outcomes and toward the process itself. Instead of asking whether she chooses you, you start asking whether you are becoming better than you were yesterday. Instead of obsessing over results, you become committed to improvement. This is where lasting confidence comes from, not from perfection, not from external validation, but from knowing that you are actively growing. Consider a simple example. Imagine two men facing the same disappointment. One becomes discouraged, gives up, and returns to old habits. The other studies the situation, learns from it, adjusts his approach, and continues moving forward. A year later, their lives look completely different. Not because one was more talented, but because one remained committed to growth. Life rewards adaptation. Life rewards discipline. Life rewards persistence. This is why self-improvement should become part of your identity rather than a temporary project. Do not exercise for a few weeks. Become someone who trains consistently. Do not read for a month. Become someone who is always learning. Do not chase motivation. Build habits. Habits create momentum. Momentum creates results. Results create confidence. Start making small promises to yourself and keeping them. Wake up when you say you will. Complete the task you planned to complete. Follow through on commitments even when nobody is watching. These small victories accumulate over time and create a powerful sense of self-trust. And self-trust changes how you walk, how you speak, how you think, and how you approach every challenge. There is another reason this principle matters. Life never stops testing you. New challenges appear, new opportunities appear, new responsibilities appear. The version of you that succeeds tomorrow must be stronger than the version of you that exists today. That is why growth remains essential, not because you are broken, not because you are lacking, but because you are capable of far more than you currently realize. Imagine looking back at this chapter of your life years from now. Will you be proud of how you responded? Will you be proud of the standards you set, the discipline you built, the habits you created, and the person you became? Or will you regret spending valuable years waiting for someone else to determine your worth? The answer depends on what you choose to do next. Keep improving, keep learning, keep building, keep moving forward. Because when you dedicate yourself to becoming the strongest version of yourself, something powerful happens. You no longer build your life around being chosen. You build a life so meaningful, so purposeful, and so valuable that whether someone chooses you becomes far less important than the person you have become. The uncomfortable reality is that very few men are ever taught how to build self-respect, emotional discipline, and strength in relationships, which is exactly why the Stoic relationship blueprint for men exists, filled with timeless Stoic principles that can transform your life immediately, and now available in audiobook format so you can listen while taking a walk, jogging, driving, training, or going about your day. And if you're ready to stop chasing validation and start building a life that commands respect, grab your copy through the link in the comments and comment blueprint below. If this message spoke to you, like this video and subscribe to help more men discover these lessons before they waste years repeating the same mistakes. And stay tuned, because in just a few weeks, I'll be releasing the Stoic Relationship Blueprint course, built from more than 2,000 years of timeless Stoic wisdom that has stood the test of time, giving you a practical framework to apply these principles directly to your life and relationships starting today.